Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Today we're going to be talking about VFR flying and how to plot a VFR flight using Bing Maps as well as the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Now we were going to use the Coronado M20. I had actually already had a video started, and we're going to be using that first part of the video where we actually start going over the flight plan. So you'll see me do a quick cut here in a second, but I want to give you guys a heads up. We're not using the M20. Unfortunately, I'm experiencing the same thing that other people are experiencing, where the Mooney is crashing the sim. And I wasn't even doing anything at the time that it happened. All I was doing was climb out. We were just literally flying upward and it dumped. So I figured this could be an interesting time to showcase another mod. I was thinking about either doing the TBM 930, but I think we're going to go ahead and try the DA62 here. It is another mod that I have a link for in the description below. Is that right? Or is the Baron? No, it's the 62. Yep, it's the Bonanza. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use this guy here. Cruise speed 171 knots. We want to make sure that we keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and check our livery, see if we have anything cool for it. Nope, just that one. And other than that, let me get to the rest of the video, and I'll see you guys out on the ramp. The first thing I'm going to do is show you guys how to set up our flight plan. All right, now no matter what we do in FS 2020, we can't zoom in enough to actually see the landmarks, and I hope this is something they address at some point. They give us this fantastic satellite terrain data, but they don't give us a way in game to zoom down to look at it. It's like, okay, well, thank you guys so much. That was incredibly not helpful. At least let me make sure nothing's changed. You know what, before I go talking out my rear like that, let's do this. Background map just says satellite. IFR. Blend. What's blend? No. Yeah. So that doesn't help us at all. Let's see here. Let me look. Landmarks are on. Cities are on. Fauna. It says it's on. Aerospace nav aids. Fixed nav. Yeah, doesn't. Cities are on. Okay, yeah, so, okay, I was right. I just wanted to make sure. Let's do this. All right, no, that's just telling you weather. Wind effect, huh. Okay, that's kind of cool, not going to lie. And your buddies. All right, so, nope, no way to do it. So, let's go ahead and show you something else. So, ironically enough, we're going to be using Microsoft's Bing to plan our flight. And so what we're going to do, and I just go to Bing Maps and then type in the ICAO of where we're starting from. And you can do this a couple of different ways. So if we want to, we can just come up to Grand Canyon. I actually don't need that on there. Oops. Can I just hit escape? No, I don't want that. Go away. You are not wanted, evil bird dude. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a marker, and all I've done is hit left click. Okay, and I'm just gonna drop this marker right here. And now everywhere I go from here, you can see the current distance in the leg. Okay, now this is going to extend with each leg we make. So first, let's figure out where we want to go first. So I'm going to, what's Red Butte? That's pretty identifiable, but chances are the road's going to lead us to something a little bit better today. Let's scroll down. I'm just going to follow the 180 here. Here we go. It's probably a little bit better one. What do we got? So Grand Canyon Vale Airport. There we go. Let's start there. So we don't need to be right on it. We just need to make sure we can see it, right? So we can sort of come off this way. We'll follow the interstate down and drop it here. And then now let's look for something else. Now let's look for something a little bit more fun to find this time. How about Red Mountain? Red Mountain's kind of a cool one. And it's literally, I mean, very bright, very obvious mountain range. So let's drop in here. And now we're at a 38-mile run. And now, let's see here. So Flagstaff is down here. Let's come on over to... You don't want to make your legs too long, too. You don't want to give a whole lot of room for error. Alright, so we got a crater here. Another big peak here. And this is Kendrick Peak. I've never heard of Kendrick Peak, but again, nice big mountain range. Should be easy to identify, especially with the crater, road going on around it. So let's start here. Here's another leg, okay? And again, you want to make sure that you're looking for those visual reference points, because you know we're not. The idea is not to fly IFR on this one. All right, so let's see, where are we in relation to Flagstaff Airport? So Flagstaff should be right here, I think. Where's the airport? There it is. Ah, okay. So yeah, so let's make a little bit. Come over here to Humphrey Peak. Okay, again, a nice big... Oh, and there we go. Got the Arizona Snow Bowl, so we can... Let's come through here. Let's pull off out to the right here. We have this big mountain range as our nav aid there. So we'll just follow the... Come off, cross the interstate here at 89. And then it should be a... relatively, yeah, straight shot right into Flagstaff. So boom, and there's our landing point. And then all we gotta do here, so is just hit done. Okay, so now we have our route. Okay, now there isn't any way to take this and put it into Microsoft Flight Simulator as is. So what we need to do now, and this part gets actually pretty easy. This is where it gets easy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just, again, these don't have to be perfect. This is VFR flying, right? Visual flight rules. So we're going to right click, and these are the coordinates that we want, and FS 2020, go figure, they own Bing, recognizes these coordinates. So we can just hit copy, and you see it says copied there. Now let's minimize this for a second. Now we can see we're starting at Grand Canyon National Park. Gate parking 10. Why are we... Shouldn't be a gate parking 10 with a Mooney. Is that really a gate? Okay, no, it's just parking ramp. Okay, cool. Making sure. Okay, so now what we want to do is go search, and I'm just going to hit Control and Victor. There's our waypoint. There we go. Now you can see it's asking me to set a departure or set as arrival. We don't want either one. So let's back that up for a second. Hit close. And now let's set our landing airspace first. What is that? KFLG? Flagstaff, yep. Alright, so let's set this one. Oh, it's already set as our arrival. Good. Alright, so now let's zoom in. Now let's find our first coordinate again. And again, Control V. Find the results. And now we're just going to hit add. Okay, so boom, there's our first leg. Let's go back to our maps. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Make this a little bit easier to get a hold of. And really, you don't even necessarily have to do this part. This is just until you get comfortable with it. Because really, you could fly this whole thing without ever entering any of this into the sim to get the most realistic experience. But then you got to do all your plotting as well. So we're going to copy waypoint 2. And again, just the same principle. I delete, click, Victor, copy, add. Okay, there's the second stop. The interface is terrible. And we can come right here too, and you can do it from here. Right click. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Just copy that. Back to Flight Simulator. Add. I'm not sure if we got that one or not. There we go. Add again. Just about done here, I think. And I'm right clicking to pull this circle up. Remember that. And let's add again. And I think that was our last one. And then, so a good, thing of habit here, right? Take your flight plan here. Oh. And then just sort of compare it, right? So if we take that shape, look at the shape we got. I wish we could turn these stupid... Yeah, it's like we got it. Thanks. Like I hate these nameplates. I really do. Like I don't want to see all that. But anyway, you just want to make sure that the shapes look basically the same. And they do indeed. Okay, got that kind of hook figure, and you got them. All right, so now let's go ahead and get in the plane and start planning our flight information. All right, so here we are on the ramp at Grand Canyon National Airport, and we're going to be heading on down to Flagstaff. Again, we are here in the DA62. Unfortunately, we weren't able to use the Mooney like I had planned on today. Again, it just keeps crashing the sim. Tried it twice, figured it's time for me to surrender, right? So anyway, I have never flown this aircraft before. It's going to be just like the CJ4. For those of you who watch that video, we're going to be trying this straight from scratch and see how it all goes. But I think it'll be okay. This is a mod. Again, link to the mod is down in the description below, as well as the performance changes that were done with this one. Again, it's another one just like the CJ4, just like the A32NX. Some really great features have been added to it. Probably won't go really into depth on them today, as this is about the VFR flying. So let's see what we can accomplish, and hopefully I don't make too big a fool of myself, but if I do, at least it'll be entertaining. Alright, so we are using the G1000 suite, it looks like. Oh, it uses a flight stick. That's kind of cool. Alright, well then let's do this. I need the checklist. I've never flown this bird before, so I'm going to pull this off the screen here. Alright, and let's go pre-flight inspection, parking brake. Where's our parking brake? I'm going to use the eyeballs here. Alright, so parking brake is down. Good. Fuel selectors check to on. It's cross feed. Okay, we'll just go use have them use their independent tanks. I don't think we need the cross feed, right? Let's go to pitot heat. Alright, is off. Engine master, both switches are off. Avionics master switch check off. Gear selection handle, gear is down. Flap selector is up. Electric equipment is off. Electronic master switch is on. That's left engine, right engine. Left hand fuel pumps, right hand fuel pumps. Electric master on. Is that my avionics master switch? Nope, that's the AV switch. Okay, so all right, electronics master is on. Fuel quantity indication check. Oh, let's take a look at that real quick. All right, so 50% we should be fine. If I remember correctly, this thing's got a range of excess of 500 miles, and that's all that I'm concerned with. I haven't done a whole lot of reading on it yet, so it's just going to be, again, sort of an interesting flight for a second, guys. Let me get my nose up here. I'm not quite sure how we dropped down so low. Electronic master is now off, and control stick free. Good. All right, and we are using the Honeycomb Alpha yoke today. Finally plugged it back in. All right, so power levelers are at idle. Wow, those are very slow response. Parking brake is set. Avionics master switch is off. Gear selection check down. Alternators check both on. where's my alternators? Pitot heat. Left engine, right engine, auto. Alternators. There we go. Alright, both alternators are on. Fuel pumps are off. Electronic master switch is on. Start the engine. Strobe lights. That doesn't sound right. Strobe lights shouldn't be on yet. By the way, folks, once again, I am battling yet another freaking cold. You gotta love children, the little gifts they bring home to you. So I will do my best to keep all the junk out of the microphone, but if a couple slip through, I apologize. Where's our lights? Alright, so they're clearly not on the forward panel. Ah, there we go. Position lights should be on. I guess the strobe would come on in this case because there's no beacon on it. Okay, engine master switch left on. So let's see here. Engine master switch. Where's our master switches for the engine? Yep, that guy on. Okay. And annunciators are off. Press left start button. Press is required. Engine start. Roll the windows down or anything? No doors open. No windows to open. That's a bummer. Shame on them. Anyway, okay. Here's oil pressure, auto RPM, 70, repeat procedure. Alright, so... Oh no, that tapping is. That's kind of annoying. Alright, let's pull up the avionics. Alright, so we have our flight route in there. I'm going to try to ignore that as much as possible today. I don't want to be using that. Let's see here. The good news is I don't know crap about the G1000 because I really try to stay away from those aircraft that have it. So this should be rather interesting. I do want to try to set my heading bugs. We'll figure those out in a minute. Alright, avionics master switch. Set to on. Electrical equipment on as required. Flight instruments set as required. Strobe lights check on. Position lights as required. Trim set to take off manually. Where's my takeoff trim? There's my trim wheel. Where's my indicator? Gosh darn it. There we go. What do we got back here? Alright, so roll it back, but where's my trim indicator? This thing literally doesn't have any steam gauges. That's crazy. Not a single one. Huh. Alright, let's see if I can find it here. Where's trim? Takeoff trim. There's got to be a trim setting on this, right? True airspeed, 0 knots. Transponder code. Let's see, is it PFD? HSI format, win, okay, cool. Alright, back. I'm not seeing. There's the altimeter. Pilot, co-pilot, crew, passengers, the radio panel, nav panel. Load, RPM, fuel flow, oil pressure, coolant temp, fuel quantity, good. Ground speed. First heading track. Not quite sure what you're doing. That's what was doing it. That was weird. Alright, at least we got that figured out. ELT is armed. Flaps are up. Alright, so we have flaps takeoff. That's kind of nice. Gear set, gear test and fire on safe, gear handle down, 3 lights green. AV, pitot heat, doesn't need to be on today. What's this? It's like light? I don't see anything that tells me my takeoff trim, so I'm not going to focus on that too much more here. I know we've already burned a little bit of time. So let's just get going. We're just going to worry about our flight today. And hopefully everything else goes well. Parking brake was... Ah, you're the parking brake, right? What's this? Defrost? Yep. It's rudder trim. So I've got a rudder trim gauge. Why wouldn't I have a... This is what I do. I end up focusing on crap. I feel like we should have an indicator here. That's what that looks like there should be. But, alright. Well, it is what it is. Let's move on. Let's hope we don't crash, die, etc. I don't want to. Let's get our taxi lights on. Make sure those actually came on. Yep, good. And I do want to see the aircraft on the outside. Just kind of get an idea. Let's listen to her. Is it just me, or should we have been moving right there? Did I not release the parking brake? Did I go the other direction? Maybe I'm wrong. Alright, what am I missing? That's the parking brake. That's a released parking brake. I can see the pedals moving. But we're not pushing forward. Now what, man? Microsoft, you're not winning any points here, guys. That's definitely a released parking brake. Is there anything I'm missing here? Taxi? Parking brake release, brakes on, test moving, blah, blah, check crossfeed, left, right. Oh, so we do want crossfeed. Or on, left, right. I guess it's up to us. Okay. Okay, so for whatever reason, I had to type the letter P, so this must be a bug, but by hitting P on the keyboard, the parking brake's released. Kind of. We are going to finish this flight today, guys. It's going to happen. We're going to get out of here. By the way, many people are always asking me still, almost every video I get a comment, what track IR I'm using. So answer is yes, I am using track IR to a sense. I am using the track IR Pro Clip. So I'm using the LEDs from the track IR. However, my track IR camera, which sits on top of your monitor, died a few months back. So I'm actually using a PS3i camera now. You have to put in some sort of filter on it, like film from camera film or some sort of tinting to block out all the exterior light. You just want the infrared light to pass through. What I ended up using is finding a very old 3x5 floppy disk, cutting the film out of that and putting it in front of the lens. Okay, and then I use the OpenTrack software to actually run the head tracking, and I find it to be significantly smoother than TrackIR and much more user friendly. Alright, so before we get out here, let's dial in a few things here for our flight. So what we're going to need first is we're going to need our navlog. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I wanted navlog. Here's the navlog. There we go. Alright, so we're looking at 161 heading for 17.4 nautical miles, approximately 5 minutes and 49 seconds. However, I did not figure in a climb. So we know that we're going to be a little bit longer than that, which is why it's always very important to make that first waypoint something that's very easily identifiable. In our case, it's an airport. Okay, it's Grand Canyon Vale Airport. Alright, speed, we are looking at... What's our cruising speed that it's anticipating? Anybody remember? Oh, goodness. I can't remember what the cruise speed... It was 170 knots, I think it was. So, we'll call it 170 knots. It should be about right. I mean, either way with VFR, we should be able to catch it still. So, I'm going to pull this off screen for now. And let's go ahead and dial in our first heading. If I can remember how. I know there's a way to do it, so just bear with me, guys. I know that... There we go, right there. And so we're going to set our heading to 161 degrees. Gosh darn it, would you stop it? That's 160. Only moves in increments of 10? Oh, no, I didn't want you to do that. Okay, that's how. Alright. So you have to... No, let go! What are you doing? Ah, this thing, man. Microsoft does not want me to do this flight today, and it's really depressing me because I really want to do this flight today. There. There. That's where we want to be. 161 for the first one. Killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Alright, let's get those taxi light off, landing lights on. Man, it really takes a second to get this thing moving. Alright, we're just going to give it the old roll and go here in a minute. Airspeed alive. Whoa. Something's wrong with the trim. Jeez. Okay. Killing me, man. Alright. Let's turn on to our heading. And I'm going to start our clock. Oops. We're looking for about 10,000 feet. Go to 9,000 if you want. Flaps up. I'm going to use more of a shallow climb today. Alright, so far as the mod goes, pretty cool so far. I wish I knew more about the plane. Like I said, this was totally on a... this wasn't planned. Oops, let's get back on course here. So this was sort of fly by the seat of my pants. See what I did there? Kind of maneuver just to try to get us something that was going to work for VFR. I wanted something a little faster than the Cessnas. Why we didn't use the Cessnas, so I wanted wow, getting sort of bounced around here a minute. I didn't want to try to do an 83-mile trip in a Cessna for the sake of the video. You know, I didn't want it to go on forever and ever here, but alright, we're at our cruising altitude, so we can come down here. Pulling the power back a little bit. Alright, so we're going to be following, here's our interstate that we're following right out here. Okay, so there's I-80. And so we're going to follow that all the way out over here to the, that should be our Vail, or Grand Canyon Vail Airport. Let's go ahead and see if I can't figure out this autopilot. And how do I set my altitude here? We're descending. I don't want to be descending. What are you doing here? It's the course wheel. Altitude, there it is. Darn it. Why are you descending here? There she goes. Oh, alright, well, we'll live with that. See if the heading's working. Doesn't appear to be. Oh, maybe. We just steered onto 161. Alright, so there's our airport. If we look at our timer here, okay, we're 5 minutes and 49 seconds where it's expected. Now, we're still a little far out. We're not quite at the cruise speed we anticipated. We were anticipating about 170 knots. Because I can add a little bit of power. Accelerate that a little bit. So we're about 30 seconds behind schedule, maybe 20 seconds or so. Nothing too crazy here. move this over here and close the checklist. Alright, so there's our airport. It's in sight. Definitely fair enough, and we weren't even, I don't even think, 30 seconds behind. We were, well, yeah, about 20 or 30. Alright, so we're going to reset. Now we're going to change our heading to 114 for 4 minutes. So let's go ahead and do a start real quick. 4.5 minutes. And let's change our heading. What was that? 114, my bad. Alright. So 114, and we should be on that. For 4.5 minutes, and that should take us directly over Red Mountain. This is a cool little plane. I wish there was a way to just turn it off. Like, I really don't want it on right now. Without shutting the avionics switch off, I mean. Really sort of defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to do. But that's alright. Not like we're really paying attention to it. So we're at just coming up on 2 minutes here in our flight time. Now, I do think we're going to be a little low here. That's part of why we were on time. So let's do vertical speed. I need that altitude up at... No, not 9,800. 9,000. Now, where's my vertical speed adjustment wheel? I really don't like the G2000 or G1000. I don't like either one. Course and Barrow. What are you? Course Center. Course 1. FMS. Altitude. FMS. Course Barrow. Range. Nav. Oh, I have an altitude knob over here. Oh, that's dumb. Now, how do I... How do I set the vertical speed? Ah, nose up. Alright, doesn't have to be anything crazy. There we go. Alright, so we're at 3 minutes, 30 seconds. I believe that should be Red Mountain right there, if I'm not mistaken. We should have some bunch of choppy, like mine-looking ones right behind it, just there on the other side. Alright, so we're coming up on our timer here. So we're looking at 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and our next course is going to be 146. So I'm going to go ahead and start setting the course heading. Oops. Did it again. Okay, we got 146, resetting the clock. And we should be looking at 2 minutes, 39 seconds. And there it is. That's what we're looking for right there. There's Red Mountain. Cool. See what I mean by it looking like sort of like a mine, like someone had dug out the side of it? So we're flying right over it, right where we should be. That's awesome. Perfect. I love it when things work out correctly. Oh, hey. Let's click that on. We are up north. How are we doing on fuel? Plenty of gas. We should be fine. And we're going to go right past these mountains here. Probably a little closer than what we should, but that's alright. And again, from here, we should be on this course. Two minutes and 39 seconds, huh? That doesn't seem very long. Unless we're gonna cut right through there, through the valley. There we go. That's what's going on. Alright, so our next heading will be 124 degrees. That makes sense. Okay, yep, I know where we're going. Alright. I want to go to the external view real quick. I want to see that. Come on. Wow, oh my god. Okay, so I swear I tapped the darn button, but that would explain why our airspeed's so low. Ah, I damaged it. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Alright, guys. Overkill bloopers reel, I guess? I'm surprised that was the only warning. And I didn't even... Wow. Alright, anyway, coming up on our time here, so now we're going to be turning to 124 degrees. Unreal. So let's go back the other direction. Nope. Damn it. There. Alright, now it'll take us just the side of these mountains here. That is so frustrating. I can't believe I did that. Like, what a dork. Neat. Look at that. So you can see where we're at here. So now we're here, 124 degrees, heading to waypoint 4, 7 nautical miles. 2.26 minutes, or 2 minutes 26 seconds, excuse me. Now again, these aren't quite right because I think it's figuring the cruising speed at like 170 knots, which we might have hit had I not had the gear down, but you know, I'm still dumbfounded. I can't believe I did that. And I didn't even bother to check your gauges, guys. Check your gauges. What a dork. I really can't believe I did that. Why aren't the fuel pumps on? Why do I feel like that should be a thing? Anyway, oh, crap. So we're about a minute overdue here, but okay, so this is actually perfect because it'll show you, you know, you can make mistakes in VFR as long as you can see where you're going. So now we're going to turn to 100 degrees. Start getting us turning back towards where we need to be. So, 100. Although, I need to keep turning because had I turned at the right time, we were supposed to cut right through that valley right there. So, let's make a course correction. Let's just at least get us to the left of those mountains there. Eat your heart out, Top Gun. Guys, don't do that in real life, okay? Promise me. Alright, now let's make our heading back to 10. Actually, we're not ready for 10. Let's keep turning. Kind of a neat flight, though. Like, I'll take the mistake. Alright, let's see what time we got on the clock. So we're looking for another minute and a half, it looks like. And right on time. Cool. So here's the valley we're supposed to cut through back towards home. So let's change our heading to 211 degrees. And we should be on this for approximately 4 minutes. A little bit over. Let's get that altitude up. Some ice. Oh, that's probably actually what I needed. Oops. Yeah, buddy. Now we're going to be looking more like 5 or 6 minutes because of our rate of climb. And you can see we are a little off course here. Turned a little soon. But there's Flagstaff. And so that's the basics of a VFR flight, right? I mean, that's why you create your waypoints. That's why you have your visual landmarks. So mistakes that I made right off the bat. I didn't climb high enough right out of the gate. Should have gotten my climb out of the way from the start of the flight. But it was also a lot of fun doing those low-level flights. So I don't necessarily regret it, being honest. On the adjustment to this third waypoint, I forgot to restart the clock. So sort of had to wing it from there. So make sure that you don't make the same mistakes I did. That's how we sort of ran out there. Follow your times correctly. Watch your airspeeds. The cruise speed that it had us set to, like I said, I mean, that must have been at max power. I mean, I bet at max power we hit 170 knots. So I'm not sure why the game showed the cruise. Well, okay, never mind. It did show it shows indicated airspeed or calibrated airspeed, I think. Either calibrated? What does it show in the game? True airspeed? Might be showing true airspeed, so that's actually possible. And yeah, it is, because there's our true airspeed at 178 knots. So I was following indicated instead of true, so we were actually right where we needed to be there. So that's good. So then it was just about timing. I just turned too soon. But if we look out the window here, there's the airport right there, guys. So let's go ahead and while we're here, let's try to land this girl and see what we get. So I'm going to go ahead and stop our clock. We reached the airfield at about 5 minutes, 10 seconds here. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the clock, reset it, and go ahead and close the timer. And let's get this girl out of autopilot. And start, why do I feel like I'm sticking my head out the window? By the way, the Flagstaff Airport and Grand Canyon National will also be in the description below. Ooh, that sun is brutal. Yeah, I feel like I'm there. Let's go ahead and do stage 1 on the flaps. It's actually a little fun plane to fly. I think I'll fly this one again. Need to learn more about it. Like I said, this was in all essence, as far as flying the aircraft goes, you know, this was a very BS video because I don't think I did anything right with it. You know, I'm shooting for about an 80 knot approach wind here, or approach speed. Pretty scenery though. So again, this is a freeware airport add-on. Looks absolutely fantastic. The surrounding area looks gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It's stunning. A little high. There we go. Now we're a little low. We're really low. Yeah, I definitely got to do some research on this aircraft. I don't know anything about it. Yep. Oh, no good. No good. Come on, baby. Wow, we have a nasty wind. Holy crap. Alright. Come on. Ooh, that was scary. Like I said, this was not a tutorial on this aircraft. This was a tutorial on very, very basic VFR flying. I want to emphasize that again, because that landing was awful. Holy mercy. Good thing you guys aren't paying me to do this. Although if you guys are interested in donating to the channel, please check the Patreon link in the description below. Thank you. Have a nice day. We appreciate you flying overkill transports. Please come back and fly with us again if you want a very off-the-wing, don't know how to fly the plane, fly by the seat of your pants flying experience. And we'll be happy to take you on board for future flights. Alright guys, so that is the basics of VFR flying. Remember to use your Bing maps. Find those visual waypoints. This one was a little bit of a tough one. I didn't get to altitude, so make sure you get to your assigned altitude. Make sure you're flying high enough above the ground level that you can actually see your waypoints and your visual acquisition points from far enough out where you can actually maintain your course. Don't forget to use the stopwatch. Make sure you track your airspeed and know which airspeed you're tracking. That was my other mistake. Now, it turned out it worked out all right, but I was blatantly looking at the wrong one. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Mistakes and all. That's why I leave them in the video, so you guys don't hopefully make the same ones that I do. I learned just as much from you guys as hopefully many of you are able to learn from me. And if not, at least hopefully you enjoyed a good video. All right, guys. I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care, and have a great weekend, guys. It's getting close. Bye-bye.